Okay, so I'm going to talk about why I chose Malaysia as a place to educate my children. So I get asked this question a lot. Why did you come to Malaysia? By my friends, neighbors, cab drivers, etc. And I would answer for my kids' education. And people would still be puzzled and go, why Malaysia? Actually, Malaysia is a very popular destination for Japanese who are thinking about educating their children overseas and also for people who are retired. I actually have never visited Malaysia before moving here, but I'm really glad that I made the decision to come. I wanted to pursue my career as a tax accountant in Japan, but I figured this was the right timing for my kids, so I quit my job and booked the flight. First of all, I wanted to live outside of Japan because I wanted my kids to learn English, and I also wanted them to experience different culture and different ways of thinking. And I love traveling. So, English is the most widely spoken language in the world, and being fluent in English opens up a whole new horizon. But learning English in Japan is so hard because more than 95% of the people that live in Japan are Japanese, and you don't need English in everyday life. Anyway, I wanted my kids to learn English through immersion because it's the easiest way. I know this from my own experience. Okay, so this is me in US when I was a child. I lived in the US for a couple of years and it had a really positive impact on my life. As for the cultural experience, I was kind of concerned that Japanese society is too homogeneous and closed, that the kids will be confined to a Japanese way of thinking and end up being too conservative. So I started doing research on countries where I could stay on the Guardian visa, and the candidates were Malaysia, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. And these are the reasons why I picked Malaysia. Proximity. Malaysia is 7 hours direct flight from Japan, and the time difference is only 1 hour. This is really convenient because we don't have to think about the time difference when we contact family and friends. Affordable cost of living. I'll be honest, cost of living is very important since we're totally doing this on our own. Prices in Malaysia used to be cheaper than Japan, but not anymore due to Japan's persistent deflation over the past 20 years and recent weak yen. But in comparison to other countries like Australia, it's still cheaper. Lots of international school choices. There are so many international schools in Kuala Lumpur alone that it was tough to single one out. The curriculums are mostly British curriculum, but there are a wide range of choices such as Australian curriculum, American curriculum, etc. Plus, most of the international schools have kindergarten too, so I didn't have to look for a daycare to enroll my youngest one. English is widely spoken. The second official language of Malaysia is English. After arriving in Malaysia, I was impressed by how everybody spoke English here. Diversity. This turned out to be the most attractive feature about Malaysia for me. There are Malays, Chinese Malays, and Indian Malays, and people with mixed heritage living in Malaysia. As a person who came from such a homogeneous country, this diversity is very attractive and thought it would be very nice for my kids to realize that being different from others is not something you should be ashamed of. Because in Japan, there always seems to be this pressure to be the same as your peers. The way you dress, the stuff you bring to school, etc. And you would also be scrutinized if you deviate. When we were in Japan, my daughter used to complain that she didn't want to bring brown rice for lunch because it was different from other students and her friends would pick on her. But here, she doesn't say anything, even if I pack brown rice, because everybody brings totally different stuff for lunches. Warm weather with no earthquake or frequent typhoon. My hands used to get very coarse and chapped up from dishwashing during winter times, but I don't get that here. And I also don't have to take medication for my hay fever in spring, so I'm really happy about it. And there's no earthquake here. It does shake quite often when you live in Japan. It's pretty scary when it starts shaking, especially when it happens at night. Also, we have typhoons in autumn, which often causes flood damages. So, being free from all that is a big bonus. Momentum. While Japan is still one of the biggest economies in the world, our population is shrinking ever so rapidly. And when you live in Japan, not a day goes by without hearing the negative news about our aging society and population increase and economy decline that follows. So I wanted to live in a country with growing population and economy. So these are the reasons why we chose Malaysia. It has been half a year now, and my kids and I really love it here. We will only be living here for a limited time, but the kids are already asking me to extend our stay. I think the biggest highlight is the people that we've met. People have really been nice, especially to kids, so I'm really thankful for this. Well, that's it, and thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for upcoming videos. See you!